Hey everyone, welcome to Pretendo Podcast. I'm Jason.
McKinley.
And today we're going to be talking about a few topics that are a bit hot this week. What did you want to talk about first?
The first thing I want to talk about first was the Persona franchise and my hopes for it coming up into the future. I played pretty much all the Persona games for the PlayStation Edition. I played Persona 3, Persona 4, Persona 5. I would definitely say anybody who's heard the hype about Persona 5, believe the hype. It was a pretty great game. The story was awesome. This is actually the first Persona game that was kind of real world. And by that I mean you can explore, you can talk to people, and that kind of thing.
It's like an open world thing?
Pretty much.
I don't know anything about the Persona games. I haven't played them.
Yeah, it's pretty much open world for the most part. It's a RPG, Japanese RPG, JRPG. I think that's how you would term it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the music is pretty good. The only downside to me when I was playing it, it was kind of the theme is thieves. So they had their mask, and anybody who knows about Personas, there's a way you activate your power. I don't know if you know anything about JoJo's Bizarre. No. Okay. So basically, they have kind of like a spirit that comes over them. So when they break their mask, a spirit comes out, and that's their power. They fight with that, and then it becomes a turn-based game, kind of like a Final Fantasy or those kind of franchises.
Huh.
Yeah.
So what set this game apart from other ones that you've played?
To me, what set apart was obviously the open world and the story. The story to me was pretty much great.
Is this the first in the franchise, or
this is the most recent one? So far, there's been 5 for console that I know of.
Oh.
But the last 3 specifically for PlayStations, those are the ones I played with.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so you play as the main character. It's a high school. So you go around the high school and you're basically solving crimes and beating up the bad guys.
Neat.
Pretty good. So the one downfall, which a lot of other people have mentioned about the game, is the camera angles. Because the goal is to get the jump on your opponent while you're playing the game. So the thing is, the camera will be weird. You'll jump behind the box and the camera's like facing somewhere off, and you have to try to either, if you can't manage it, you jump into a fight and then you get caught off guard. So that's the only weird mechanic of the game. But outside of that, it was a pretty great game, in my opinion.
And you've already finished it?
I've already finished it. I played through. I did normal.
When did it come out?
It came out, I want to say, near the beginning of the year. I think maybe it was February or March. Oh, wow. Yeah.
So maybe it's not as expensive. I might have to go.
Yes, for the price.
I'm always looking for something new for the PS4 because the games that I have, there's Fallout.
Okay.
Which, takes... I don't even know if I'm halfway through the story. I just keep doing all the side things and just building things and doing stuff. I don't think I'm ever going to finish it.
How long have you had it?
Look, it came out. I got it on release, so a while now. Then there's Doom. Doom. So much fun, but then I got to a point where I had work and I had other stuff going on, so I stopped playing it, but I was so far into the game that you can't just come back to it. Because it's really hard. Right. So it's I either have to start over again and then build up my skill, which I just haven't done anything with it. So, just looking for other games for the PS4, something a little newer to play. Because, I love retro games, but they can get boring.
So for the record, do you plan on ever going back to Doom, or is that
I want to. I want to finish it. But right now it's not even in the docket. It's not even on the table.
Gotcha.
Plus, I got the Switch, and then there's Zelda's the same thing. I put it down for... I picked it up a couple days ago. And I hadn't even gotten, downloaded the DLC or anything yet. I had the season pass or whatever. Okay. But, so that all installed, and I looked at the last time I saved, and it was back in April, so I haven't played it since April. So I have to try the trials and stuff that everybody else has been doing. I have to catch up with it, really.
So what's your experience so far been with the Switch?
I mean, the last time I played it was April, because the only thing I'm playing on it is Zelda. I guess I'm going to go out and buy Mario Kart 7, because Nintendo just announced the new Nintendo World Championships.
World Championships.
Just it's them throwing back again, them trying to kind of get more of the retro people to kind of come back to gaming, and the NWC was pretty huge back in the 90s. So
okay.
I think it was 1990, and of course the cartridges and everything, they're worth like the most in the.
How much is a cartridge worth?
Well, the gold cart that you had to order
Uh-huh.
from Nintendo Power.
Okay.
Well, you didn't have to order it. It was like a sweepstakes. So everybody sent their information in, and like 50 people, I think, got it.
So I missed out. Okay.
Well, so did I, but I was a kid.
Right.
And I didn't have Nintendo Power at the time. I did not have the power. So they only had 50 of the gold carts, which actually they look like a Zelda cartridge.
Uh-huh.
But they had like a cutout sticker placed in them, said Nintendo World Championships on it, and it wasn't anything like great or whatever. And it had the little weird dip switches for the game. Those cartridges go for about $20,000 to $25,000 these days a piece. And the actual cartridges they use during the tournament, the great cartridges, those go out like $2,000 to $4,000 probably on eBay, or if you can find them at all.
So are the gold cartridges made of actual gold? Is
No.
that why it's so expensive?
No, I think they're probably the same cartridges that they put Zelda chips in. I guarantee that's what Nintendo did. They just slapped that sticker on there and popped the NWC chip in there.
$25,000.
$25,000, yeah. I know you're not a retro collector, but that's one of the ones.
4 of those are a decent house.
Well, that's true. And I think back in the later 90s, there was like one guy who got a hold of a bunch of them. For one of them, he only paid like $50 for. He got like a list of all the people who won them, and he kind of like went out and like was calling them, and they were like, "Oh shit, I got a box of Nintendo."
Oh my god!
This was before anybody was collecting them and stuff, and I think he bought a bunch of them.
So pissed.
I don't remember who it was. I'd have to look all that up again. But yeah, there's a new one. It's happening at Best Buy's, interestingly enough.
Best Buy.
So I guess they're partnering with Best Buy, but these tournaments are supposed to be happening at like the bigger cities like LA, New York, Miami.
Okay.
And they start, I think, happening like August 15th or so.
August 15th?
I'll have to look. It's whatever the weekend before. It might be actually like the 9th or something. And then every weekend after that. And it goes, they're in 2 different cities, I think, each time. The closest one to us is Miami, and that one I think is like the September 8th and 9th, something like that.
I am down.
Yeah, oh yeah, we'll definitely be there. I don't know how the sign up is going to be for like actually getting into the tournament part of it.
They didn't mention any like qualifiers or...
Well, this is the qualifying, I think, and then from each one of those cities, I think there's going to be like one winner, and then they fly them all to New York, and then they have the big NWC actually is happening in New York. The big competition for, I don't know what the prizes are.
Right.
I don't know the exact dates. They just say October for the big all the finalists coming together. But I do know that there's going to be it's going to be a whole event at the Best Buys and stuff. So there's probably going to be like some Nintendo swag and some exclusive stuff that they're going to give away. And there's probably going to be prizes for first and second place and that kind of stuff. What's weird is the original one was like a time trial, if I remember. And it was like Rad Racer and Super Mario Brothers and Tetris. And they only had like a certain amount of time, and it was whoever got the highest score out of all of those things, or whoever made it the farthest or whatever in Rad Racer. That's who won. I don't know how the Mario Kart's going to work out. And I'm a little surprised that it's only Mario Kart. So I don't know if there's going to be like a special track or something. Or if it's just going to be just Mario Kart 7. I don't know if they're making like a special track for just this tournament. I think that would be the fairest way to go because Otherwise, people could just memorize what's on the game and just be like, yeah, sure, whatever. And you're gonna have like a lot of ties and stuff. I'm surprised though that Smash Brothers didn't make this tournament. Considering it's a tournament fighter.
That would make sense.
Or at least had something to do with it, or they could have done more games. But it seems like it's just that.
As you mentioned, before it was 3 games from the first tournament?
Yeah, back in 1990.
Back to 99, yeah. So yeah.
The 1990 one, there were 3 games, and it was sort of a time trial. Of course, that was completely different, because those games it was easy to do that.
Oh, okay.
But Mario Kart is obviously far more advanced than any of those 3.
Gotcha.
So it's more or less just a Mario Kart tournament that they're calling Nintendo World Championships. That's the way I'm kind of looking at it.
I mean, that's cool. It's like their own
Whatever they want to do.
Little derby, little video game derby.
Well,
I'm down.
It's up to them. But on top of that, I just found out that there's a new Metroid game.
A new Metroid game.
Yeah, for the 3DS.
How long has it been since a Metroid game came out?
Well, I know there were like Federation Force and stuff like that, but the last real, what I would consider a real Metroid game that has Samus in it, it's been a while. Quite a long time, actually. It might have been Other M, I don't know. And I know that came out in 2010, but I don't know if there was another one with Samus in it since then. That maybe I missed, but... and then I know Metroid Prime 4 was announced during E3 this year.
Dope.
So it'll be nice to see another Metroid game. I know there's an exclusive 2DS, or maybe it's a 3DS XL, that you can pre-order with Samus, whatever.
Then that'll be a collectible as well?
I'm sure scalpers will be all over it, just like everything else Nintendo. I wonder if it'll have like amiibo functionality in it or not, because there are a couple of Samus amiibos. I wonder if they're gonna have it compatible with anything. I know almost nothing about the game. I know it's going to be another 2D one, so it's going to be a traditional.
They're sticking to the same format,
yeah, which is cool. It's always worked. So I don't know where it's taking place in the timeline. I don't think it really matters. Honestly, they can pretty much do whatever they want. But I'm excited for it because there's franchises that I like, and Metroid's one of those franchises.
Okay. So with Nintendo trying to come back into the conversation of top tier consoles, what game do you think could help push that for the Switch? Like, what games would you want to see come for the Switch?
Well, I mean, Zelda's already done that, but now we're getting to the point where the DLC is cool, and then there'll be more DLC. I'm sure, but after that, you can only keep Zelda going for so long. I know we have Mario Odyssey coming out, and that might be something that I personally didn't care for what I saw in the trailers, but hopefully...
You were not impressed.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed. But that's okay. People like the ARMS game. I did play a little bit of it. Okay. It's fun. It is. It's really fun. But it's a 2-player game, really.
Right.
It's a game you gotta play with people. Okay. Splatoon 2... I'm sure is pretty fun. I've never actually played even the first one, even though it came with my Wii U. So I've never actually... It looks like a fun game. It's just not something I've actually picked up yet.
Right.
But I know that people like that sort of thing as well.
Okay.
I don't really know what else is slated for the Switch.
Okay.
I know there's Bayonetta 2 and stuff, but I'm pretty sure those already existed on another console. There's a lot of re-release stuff I've noticed coming out on the Switch, which for me it's just like, why?
Right.
What's the point? Oh, it's gonna look better or something. Is it? I don't know.
Do the graphics look noticeably different or better or worse as far as you can tell on the Switch?
Versus like the Wii U?
Right.
Well, I have said this before. Breath of the Wild was definitely made for the Switch's screen. Okay. And it looks really nice on that little screen. Right. And when I plug it into my expensive high-definition television...
Nice television.
Not so much. It kind of loses a lot. So, I think they're probably about the same.
About the same.
Yeah, I haven't like Zelda's not really showing me what it can do because, and admittedly, the Nintendo developers said this. It was developed for the little screen. So if they developed it for the bigger screen, then maybe I would see more of what it can do.
Gotcha.
But right now, I'm not seeing it. Whatever. It's not always about graphics. It's about whether the games are fun and everything.
Okay. So would you say the Zelda game so far is fun?
Oh, fantastic.
Fantastic.
It's a fantastic game. I've already done videos about it.
Oh, okay.
So you know what my problems are with it. It's not a perfect game. It's not my favorite Zelda game by a long shot. Because a lot of the changes, everything's temporary.
Right.
Things break.
True.
You run out of energy. You get hit by lightning just because it rains and slows the game down. You gotta sit and wait for 20 minutes because it started raining. You're stuck on a cliff. But, other than that, sure, it's a great game.
Gotcha.
It still plays well. It still, some points still feel like a Zelda game.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked some dungeons. That would have been something. A few more tools would have been good. I'm missing that hook shot. I don't know why, but I keep missing it, I'm just missing the hook shot.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about games that you looking forward to.
Uh-huh.
What games were you looking forward to, but they drastically let you down, and now you couldn't care less?
Like franchises and stuff?
Franchises and stuff.
Well, I mean, Castlevania failed a long time ago.